Alright, a wonderful good morning everybody and welcome back to my channel. God's Shadow here, and I've been in hiatus because I was on vacation. I actually brought my laptop with me as well, but the internet connection there wasn't kind enough to also let me record a league, so here we are. A couple of people already asked me about last week's 5-0 list and a couple of spicy inclusions, so to speak. I'm gonna go over them in just a second. First of all, let's talk about Pioneer just a bit. I'm already building a Grixis mid-range pile based off on our Modern League control list here. Pioneer as a format is a little bit slower, a little bit simpler. It's alright. It's probably the only format beside Modern I can get behind. I don't like Legacy because of the reserved list. I don't want to support that. Modern, I feel like, is just perfect in terms of velocity, pace, and complexity. And Standard is just too dumb, limited as well. Like, I don't like the play patterns. Pioneer, I've played a league now. It felt like Standard Eternal. That, of course, will change over time, but I think it's deep enough for me to warrant a couple of leagues there. So my next video is probably going to be Pioneer, and making a couple of steps there with Baby Jace and Grixis. But for now, back to Modern here. So first of all, I boarded out the blast zones to support Archmage's Charm, which I think is just really good right now. It's our mid-game draw engine, versatile, does exactly what I want to do, especially in the absence of Jace Prince Prodigy. Funeral Charm is, I don't think it's as good anymore as it was 2 weeks ago, but 2 weeks ago, when the meta was defined by Emerald Titan, Titan Shift, and Tron, I could also in between just like bounce a Tron land or whatever and just discard it with Funeral Charm, so that was pretty cool. And I think without the third mode here, which is just a non-mode for the most part, Funeral Charm will probably be a legit card in Modern and would see play. This way, it's sometimes really good, sometimes it's really bad. But I'm gonna play it in another league, although I don't think it's as good anymore as it was when I 5-0'd. But I want to showcase it anyway a bit. So other than that, thoughts counter scroll here just to shorten the clock in between Brazen Borra. I'm also going to leave it in. I think by now we want to play Nimble Obstructionist again. I'm just leaving it in here because I don't want to run around without Blast Zone and without being able to consistently get rid of like Rest in Peace, other enchantments and such. And yeah, off to the sideboard here. Jigsaw Jailers, because graveyard decks are becoming a little bit more. Again, we might actually want to go with Surgical over the Inquisition here as well. Just for that. Then Kalitas, Fulminate Mage, all the same, and Shriekmaw, because I was actually playing a league against Selesnya Eldrazi, or Band Eldrazi, and that didn't feel close, in a bad way. Like, once upon a time, Ancient Searings, and then you're just chaining Thought-Knot Seers, Reality Smashers, and such. I won a game, but the other two were like insane. So yeah, I just wanted to have a little bit more removal that I can also recur in between, and that also provides value down the road. So that's the list, and let's jump into the league here. Theban Sword here, or the Pen Sword, or whatever. Played a couple of leagues or games against him a week ago or so. Pretty good games. He's always playing blue-red control. We would like to play first. It's a horrible hand. And this is also not a whole lot better. I'm gonna get rid of Snapcaster because there's not a whole lot that we can flashback within the next couple of turns. Nightmare used to play, is it Phoenix? Mystic Sanctuary might tell us that he switched to blue-white control, which is pretty common right now, like the Terminus version or Miracle version in general with Mystic Sanctuary. No, it's still some sort of blue-red. So I'm not fetching and playing around the Blood Moon here, just because with Mystic Sanctuary I don't believe that he's playing Blood Moon's main. Potentially in the sideboard, but main board probably not. That's actually something that I do not have any issue with. It probably does have a counterspell, at least one. So I'm pretty sure that our opponent is indeed playing spell snares. Put 2 cards on top. Bolt. Yeah, thought so. Actually, a good card here. A good removal for that Snapcaster Mage. In this matchup, I would rather have Nimble than anything else. Guess he put another land on top, and if he didn't, then I'm kind of okay with them countering my stuff end of turn. Feels like he could also be playing some sort of through the breach kind of deck. Yeah, he has to ask himself the question if he wants to fight about this. Apparently he doesn't. I just wanted to have one more land here. Then we would have 3 counter spells up, and that would actually be pretty good. No clue what he's always doing there end of turn. Brazen Borra, sure. Card that we're also playing, of course. Cryptic. Alright, so now we do have 3 counter spells in a row. Or similar stuff. I'm not sure. Like, generally speaking, blue-red is definitely favored. In these types of matchups. So I'm trying to get all my 2 mana counter spells out of my hand because he's probably sitting on 1 or 2 copies of Spell Snare. Alright, he's thinking about something. Definitely does have some sort of play there, like a Planeswalker or something like that. Thing in the eyes, yeah, I don't mind that. Probably also what he thought about just a second ago. So now we have Cryptic plus 2 counter spells. Which means as soon as we're catching either a Snapcaster or a Kolaghan's Command, we're gonna go being more aggressive. But our opponent apparently also does have quite a bit of action in hand. There's a Kolaghan's Command, which and this is annoying. Alright, he's still going for card advantage here, which I'm fine with. So we're gonna try to fight here at the end of turn. We're 1 mana short to like have another Cryptic up. Force, yeah. Probably can let that happen. And if it's only for the giggles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have double Cryptic up. Yeah, now we can't go back here. Now I have to do it. Funeral Charm. Counter School. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Alright, won that fight. We're also pretty certain that he doesn't have a really good follow-up play in terms of counter magic. Might have another Force of Negation in hand, of course, or a couple of bolts. But yeah, this is something that I actually expected. It's not bad per se. But I'm gonna put it on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't necessarily want to go and do more with my cryptics. I'm gonna play the Archmage's Charm. If possible. And yeah, I'm not fetching here to not get into bow range. That's probably my Medic Sinkhole, which I'm fine with. That's nothing that we have to fight over. So we should be able to get our other Snapcaster down here as well. Plus Archmage's Charm. And here the Archmage's Charms are really good. Like the value that we're generating here, you wouldn't be able to generate them any other way. We don't have any targets to fetch anymore aside from one swamp. And therefore I'm just not going to do that anyway. So we've only, this is our second so if we counter here, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1. Yeah, I think we're going to counter here. Yeah, and this I'm fine with. The more bolts our creatures eat, the less bolts I eat. And therefore, so if I go, yeah, that's alright. I'm just looking for a bolt here. Or Brazen Burrow, I guess. Only has one card in hand. So even if that's, say, a Jace or whatever, he will have to take it up, and then we probably get there. Yep, perfect. Yeah, so generally speaking, blue-red has a good matchup here against us because they don't have a single dead card in their deck. And they can play Blood Moon, which just oozes. Alright, so I think he didn't even go for... So if he does have removal spell here, he's certainly going to go for it. Didn't play land yet, so yeah, that's fine. I bet he should have a couple of lands in hand, right? One card on top, one card on bottom. I'm being so aggressive here with my Cryptic Command because even if he does have a counterspell, which he does have, but now he cannot Cryptic. Has to bold here. Come on, we haven't drawn a bold off the top, alright. No, he actually has. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. And we have not. Like, we still have, 3 bolts in our last 15 cards, whereas our opponent doesn't have any bolts left. There is one. All right. Great. All right. So first game is ours here. I still do like the Funeral Charms because we're getting rid of basically all of their creatures except for the thing in the ices. I'm gonna take out the Terminates due to Brazen Boris, which are probably good enough here. And then I'm gonna put in Grim Lavamances. We could also go with Surgicals. In theory, our opponent might be bringing in Surgicals, but I think this is fine. And of course, these Mystic Sanctuary plays are pretty awkward. Also, this probably means that he doesn't have a whole lot of other lands in hand right now. And that's also why I'm gonna go and try to counter this. Yeah. Alright, so he's actively looking for lands, we know that here. Also got a Spell Snare out of his hand. Right, he put 2 cards on top, but now he's a land behind. Also, of course, going there into the combat or the fight for lands allowed me to get 1 more card into my graveyard, which of course is great for Alright, he is actually quite desperate here, I think. To get those additional lands. But this must also be a land or a... yeah. And this also means, of course, that the last cards in his hand, or the 5 cards in his hand, are all pretty much good value here. And this is also a desperation move to just find more lands. Alright. Found your lands. I think I might want to go ahead and counter here. I'm going to do it with Counter Squall. If he does have a Spell Snare, then and follows it up with whatever, then I don't want him to go like Jace and Spell Snare or Counter Squall. So now we do have Cryptic plus Logic Knot, or Snapcaster or something plus Logic Knot. Funeral Charm is a difficult decision here. I think I'm going to put it on the bottom. Jace. And then he saw a creeping target here. Alright. So he doesn't care. Needs the lands here. Needs the cards. Potentially wants to find a red source to kill either a tar pit or a snap. Alright, Mystic Sanctuary isn't going to do that, but gives him back Cryptic Command. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he probably does have another counter spell here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah. Of course, we can't counter anything, but this way I'm actually leaving the option open to go with the Snapcaster if we really want it. Love that he's always waiting for the second main phase to actually do stuff, which is actually quite funny. Yeah, I'm playing this due to the fact that, yeah, discarding force, interesting. So for the most part, we can actually ignore the roll science here. The 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. With 7 damage here. So most important thing is that he doesn't have a Remand in hand. My goodness, we're drawing lands on lands on lands. Alright, so now I'm going to put a stop there so that we can actually Alright, well, going 2-0 here in this matchup is actually extremely good. Also, with the amount of additional lands that we drew in comparison to him, he finished the game with 7 lands. We have 6, 9, 10 lands here. So with way less action cards, got there. So pretty good. See you guys around in round number 2. Alright, welcome back to round number 2 here. Of course, with Funeral Charm, our entire main deck here is now instant speed. The Darkslick Shores in the main board is still kind of a flex slot. Mystic Sanctuary, I've played Mystic Sanctuary here, but for the most part, it's just cute. Like, yeah, you can bounce it from time to time, and if you're some black, you will also play Deprive and such interactions to return it to your hand. We could also just bounce it with Cryptic, but for the most part, that's just cute, not a whole lot more. Alright, we're going to keep because in this scenario our Funeral Charms are basically our Lightning Bolts. We appear to be playing against Affinity, which I haven't played against in quite some time. Cranial Plating. Alright. So we're probably gonna take a big hit here. Funeral Charm is just being pretty good. And then next turn we can just end of turn bounce the Ornithopter if we really want to. Yeah, Relic of Fragenitas is somewhat annoying, but also curious that our opponent's playing that one in the main board. Taking 5. Probably fetching for a red source here, bouncing the Ornithopter, and then pooh. That's not super good for us. So I assume that the last card in his hand might be something like a let's have a look first if we can find a removal spell. We cannot. Last card in his hand is probably something like Fires of Invention or Mystic Forge, something like that. A 4 mana play. So it doesn't have access to any mana, so I'm probably going to go play the Snapcaster. That will cost us, well, that's actually lethal. 1, 2, he attacks. Brazen Mora can block in the air. So, yeah, this is actually way better. So I think we're gonna go after the Relic of... oh no, actually the Springleaf Drum allows him to. Never mind. He's probably gonna go and crack the Relic, right? So since his last card in hand could also just be a Galvanic Blast, I'm gonna go and just destroy Artifact and deal 2 damage. Which will of course not solve all of our problems. But at some point he will have to go after, or yeah, have to crack that one. So I'm hoping to find any sort of... Definitely has a Galvanic Blast. Yeah. Alright, so we did everything correctly there with our play pattern. Also like the Archmage's Charm, because we can also flash that back so we can get ahead. And I actually like that people are playing Affinity again. Really do. Don't like that we're just drawing Snapcasters here, but... Nexus. Yeah. Alright, so he had a 4 mana play as well. Let's see. If he activates next turn, go Igmoth Nexus, and then equip, we're dead as well. I think we need to draw with the Archmage's Charm here. I'm gonna let that resolve. Lol. Boom. Another one? Oh my goodness. It doesn't have to show it. Oh, Edge Champion, yes. Great. Alright, so now we have to erase him, which we can't. Like, he plays Edge Champion next turn. Fuck. do not have a whole lot of time. One, two, three, four, five, six, twice, right? Yeah. Alright, so we still have to get rid of that one. And this was a mistake. I actually wanted to flash in the Snapcaster Mage. That was really bad. Yeah, so if our next card is not a cryptic command, then we might just be playing that. So we attack him for 5. If we attack him for 8, we can actually kill him. What if we put him down to 11? It's gonna have 3, potentially have another blocker up. So even if we go with 3 Snapcasters to attack him, so at least one gets through. He's down to 9, and we have 2 Cripping Tar. Like, yeah, we only have 2 Cripping Tar Pits. Yeah, and one really has to say, like, if I had played it the way I wanted to play it, yeah, we would win here. But I was reading the Tezzeret, and now we're losing because of it. Just lost the train of thought there. Really, really annoying. That would have been a safe victory. And I think I even made a second mistake. Like, if we put him down to 11 and then bolted him and then had 3 plus 2 tar pits up, that if he didn't draw another... No, I think that would have also been lethal. That was another mistake there. Don't know why I miscalculated there. It's actually not a good hand. Don't have anything to fuel our Lavamancer with. I think we need to mulligan. Keep. No play. Although he has 3 mana up. Great. Alright, making one mistake here in game number 1 and then just being punished by Moto. Well, at least we can kill Blinkmoth and Nexai and also counter Mox Opals. Probably has like Mystical Dispute or something like that. Yeah, definitely has a counterspell here. Just thinking about whether or not he or it's a valuable target. So I'm shocking here just because I want to be able to go counterscroll whatever counterspell he's playing. Just in case. So just want to take him off of the Springleaf Drum here, in case he needs the mana. And we can't counter anything with our Droning Loch right now anyway. And then if we draw a land, we have Droning Loch and Kalitas to get rid of stuff. Right, this is a Teferi, which now he can't counter anything, despite having a counter in hand, pretty certain. Also interesting. Ah yeah, so I'm confused here by my own combat phase pause. So I haven't seen an Oddbound Ravager yet, which makes me a little bit suspicious that our Kalitas is actually not good enough here. Sure. Dispatch. Classic. Randomly boarding in dispatch. So we did get that land that we were looking for last time. Not as good anymore, of course. Yeah, I don't actually mind taking hits from the Moth Nexus here, Blink Moth. Oh. I think for right now we can just leave it be. We still have Creeping Tar Pit up to get there on the last couple of meters. He might also be saving some other removal spell for the Tar Pit. And since I'm expecting him to actually having... This is awkward. Non-land permanent. Okay. So I'm not drawing cards without Major Charm here, because I suspect a counterspell in our opponent's hand. Yeah. Man. Oh, come on, man. Great. Thank you, Moto. Lagging me through my combat phase here. Yeah, we can actually overtake that dude, so that's alright. Also, Mystical Dispute now becomes kind of irrelevant. So we're going to take control here. I'm actually not sure as to whether or not the cranial plating will stay equipped. Apparently it does. Since cranial plating still belongs to our opponent, it still does count our opponent's artifacts, which is actually pretty cool. Yeah, so exactly what I thought here. I'm still gonna counter it because yeah, it's lethal and Mystical Dispute doesn't work. We still have 3 mana open. So we would need another removal spell, which he has. Okay. Eidolon or Fritaric, okay. He's gonna re-equip the cranial plating to the Eidolon here at instant speed, and that's why he's not doing anything. And we're just gonna go with the Grim Lavamancer, then block his Eidolon with our Ornithopter if that's necessary, and then finish the job with the Lavamancer. Well, at least these are quite fun games. But we, as I said, should have won game 1 already. Sucks that we have to play another game here. And awkwardly enough, our opponent's playing a lot of removal spells. Still think that the last card in his hand was a Mystical Dispute or Spell Snare, Spell Pierce, or some sort of that. I think I'm happy with the main board though. Like we could, yeah, just go for a little bit more interaction in the mid game, early to mid game, and then because we have to get there somehow. But since our opponent's playing so much, so on the backs of that Brazen Bar, I'm gonna keep this also because of our opponent just boarding or having boarded a lot of hate cards, interactive cards. My goodness. And there's one. Pretty sure there's a Teferi in there again, in his hand. Just lurking around the corners. And he's thinking about, like, Island of Rhetoric, sure. I'm going for a blue source here due to Archmage's Charm, just to be able to do to play that in case we need to. Yeah, so the thing is now he can't play counter spells during his turn if he played anything before. So that's pretty good. We need to find removal spells. And I'm not going to block the Volt Scourge here just in case we're going to draw a Funeral Charm. If he's attacking, yeah, I was going to say, if he's attacking with the Inkmoth Nexus, yeah, now we're definitely going to do something. My fucking god, give me spells. I think we're gonna play defense here due to Kalitas. If he does have a dispatch in hand, then so be it. Yeah. And there's the dispatch. Well, Galvanic Blast isn't too bad. We already cut a land here, yet still. Alright, like if we're taking 1 damage. My god. I think I'm gonna take 2 here. I'm just keeping the Brazen Bora basically for the Inkmoth Nexus and or surprisingly good here. So we basically don't have to play around counter spells on his turn, because once we can counter something, doesn't really matter anyway. So now we're trying to raise and just getting rid of one of his creatures end of turn. And he does have another Galvanic Blast. Like, not even sure. So we're attacking for 8. Yeah, great. Congrats. Right now we're definitely winning the fight. And even if he does have Knockdown Ravager here, like that shouldn't be enough to just outright kill us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Galvanic Blast should be gone for the most part, and we do have a removal / discard spell as well. Whip Flare. Oh man. Dude. Well, now we do have a problem because... my god. This is so annoying. So fucking annoying. Come on, deck. Give me fucking any non-land card. Blink Nexus is also bad for us. But I don't care about the Moth. So we either need to find a removal spell for... Yes. You're great with your relic. So we're taking 2. He's down, we're down to 6. He's up to 9. As I said, don't care about the Moth Nexus. The last card is an Ornithopter. Oh, fuck my life! So many. So fucking many. Now even my Lightning Bolt isn't good enough. And next turn we die. So Kolaghan's command should give us the out here. That we need. We can kill 2 things like these 2, or alternatively can just kill an artifact, deal 2 damage to him, and then kill him with Creeping Tar Pit. Yeah, never mind. He's gonna put it onto Eidolon. My god, I cannot believe that our opponent drew a cranial plating there. Probably anything else would have been okay. Now though, we have to kill the cranial plating and something else. Otherwise we're dead. So we have to hope for runner here. Probably, I don't think it matters. Probably still want to go for that dude. So now, I mean, it's basically bold or bust. Bold, cryptic also does it. But nothing else. Come on, man. Oh yeah, that also does it, I think. Oh my god. Look at my butt. Oh, how awesome. How awesome. What a finishing play here. Oh yeah, he still does have another look. Oh man. Got there. Awesome. Alright, cool game. Fucked it up game 1, pulled it out in game number 3 there. Darn it. But man, did we draw many lands. So fucking many lands. And we're on the draw here again. Ethervile. So looks like it's Merfolk. We're trying to kill something on turn 1. That's why I'm playing the Scalding Tarn here over the Creeping Tar Pit. I hope that he's actually playing something. Alright, he's not, he even doesn't even have anything, potentially. So, we're gonna buy ourselves some time. If he doesn't play anything here, he does. I just don't want our Brazen Borrow to be forced. Therefore, I'm doing it during his turn. And then next turn we have Drown and Lightning Bolt. So from the sideboard we have Shriek Maws, we have Grim Lavamances, a couple of good cards, and now we slow them down to a degree where we should get a handle here. On the game. And I'm inclined to just go with the Tar Pit here to have, like, if it doesn't draw a land, it doesn't matter anyway. true land. So this might be spreading seas. If it's spreading seas, we're going to counter here. If it's a lord, I think we're going to counter as well. Yeah, sure. Second vial. That was it. That was really weird. Our opponent there deciding to shock. So he initially wanted to play something else and then redecided on going with that. I almost want to just bounce the Aether Vial here again. Like, he can't counter it for the most part. And then he has to replay it. He could also go with Spreading Seas, but we do have other options. So we're going to do that. Slow his game down more. And just get rid, well, I was going to say, of the clunky spells in our hand, but drew another clunky one. And this matchup particularly, I think Drungenloch is actually really good. Not Drungenloch, I was talking about Funeral Charm. Alright. This is fucking me up a little bit though. So I'm gonna have a look on whether or not he's gonna use Force of Negation here. If so, then I'm definitely gonna counter it. If not, then we shall see what he does. By now it's also, like, I'm switching tactics now with all his waterlogged growth here and him already being on 13 live. I'm actually gonna go for I'm actually gonna go for a set here. With the Brazen Bara. Because we have double, like, I'm keeping Logic Knot up for Force of Negation. And the Lightning Bolt or Snapcaster Mage might already do it. Plus, and this is going to be the Merfolk Trickster. No, Merfolk. No, Trickster, yeah. That's what I was talking about. So now I'm provoking a Force of Negation here, which he doesn't do, so I assume it doesn't have one. And I just want to force him to actually use his waterlogged growth there as much as possible. and for our Brazen Bora to at some point get through. We could also just bounce the Spreading Seas off of our Tar Pit at some point, obviously. And he needs to get onto the battlefield here. Oh, would assume so. Don't think that this is too important, but just in case, we're gonna keep our black source up here. We might be drawing like a Snapcaster Mage, or as I said, like we want to get bounce our Spreading Seas. Oh, come on, you don't have another one. Fuck off. Oh man. Mutavolt. Yeah. Yeah. So we know that his last card, one of the two last cards in hand, is definitely a Merfolk Lord of Atlantis. And now we almost have lethal here. He can't use the Waterlogged Growth anymore. Well, we actually have lethal now. I'm gonna wait for his turn. Like, he can't win without using his mana to get creatures down onto the battlefield, and therefore I'm playing around a Force of Negation this way. Alright, this looks like it's a desperate move. But we can make sure to win here. Blocking one and then lightning bolting his face, plus having another lightning bolt. But yeah, he gave up here. Alright, so we're bringing in Shriekmaw, we're bringing in Kalitas, we're bringing in this person as well. Funeral Charm, pretty good here. I also like Dark Slick Shores. Might get rid of an island just because of Spreading Seas being so obnoxious. Then I also want to get rid of my Cryptic Commands. Just a little bit too clunky here. And we might also get rid of like one Archmage's Charm. I think the rest of our deck's pretty good here. Counter Squall. Maybe actually worse. Then I'll Archmage's Charm. I expect our opponent to have interaction, but I will see if they're boarding like counter spells, counter magic, whatever. Stuff like that. Difficult keep, but I think like with this being a normal discard spell, I wouldn't keep it with it being Funeral Charm. Come on, man. Why do you always have Ether Vial turn 1? Oh, the fucking time. Yeah, of course. Keep drawing our beautiful lands here. Dudum. It's really asking something of me to not go completely bananas here. Alright. While this certainly isn't a perfect situation, it allows us to become more mana efficient, and our opponent seems to be looking for something. Alright, so we're taking 8. Next turn we would be dying, but he will have to have so if we kill this, we're taking 4, but then afterwards, no, we can't do that. Alright, Kalidas. And hoping that our opponent does not have a Lord of Atlantis, otherwise we're just playing that. If we survive this turn, then I think we win, but it's unlikely that we will. Now we also can have a Merfolk Trickster to tap our Kalitas. Probably playing around something that we could be playing with Ithavile here. Yeah. Anything with double blue kills us. Lord of Atlantis, sure. Don't know what would we be playing around here though. Doesn't matter. Had 6. So on the play, yeah, we're just running it back. I think the main board by itself is pretty good. We have so much removal, we just need to draw non-land cards. Our opponent has an Ithavile again, without even having to try. That's actually pretty kind of you, because we could just take the Kumina Speaker now. Don't necessarily need to though. So we're gonna go with a Terminate here. Let this resolve, which I was hoping for anyway. And then we have a couple of counter spells plus Snapcaster down the road. So this should probably be a Watery Grave, and then we're nodding for 2. Could have a Mystical Dispute, of course, but can't play around that right now. I'm just hiding a Blood Crypt as long as possible to be able to respond there. And now I think we're doing something. Or are we? No, that's fine. Except for Kalitas, we don't need double black anyway. Okay, no. Oko is not okay. I think we're trying to counter this here. Because next turn we... like, if we can counter it... We're taking away our Grimnalomancer things though. So that makes me, or has me a little worried, but I don't think that we can play around anything. Of course, our... okay. Another Oko. That is really annoying. Okay, so Archmage's Charm can take the elk that he's gonna make out of that food token. So we're gonna cast this one, killing the Merfolk Trickster. And we need to attack the Oko. Can't really do anything else. So Shriekmo does have fear, so that's good. He does have another Master of the Pearl Trident as well. Pooh. Shocking quite a bit here. So he's probably gonna, yeah. Let's see if he's gonna block anything. Just want to have a look first. He might also just let the Oko die, and then I can direct a whole lightning bolt onto the Master of the Pearl Trident here. Alright, so we just need one red source, in my opinion. Taking 7 here, down to 9. Next turn we would die. We still have the food token though. No, can we still use it? No. It's just an elk. Alright. Tar pits. So he still has 2. So that's just 5 together. If he does have an... Oh, he does have another Master of the... No, he doesn't. He might have another Lord or Master of the Pearl Trident, and then we would be dead. But we can't do anything about it because all things have... I will walk. One, two, yeah. Can't do anything. Like, if he does have one more of those 2, then we just die. Might also have Force of Negation up. But I was playing around the Force of Negation already by just waiting a turn here. Like, if we played it in our turn, that would have been the same as right now. And only, I think we only lose to a Force of Negation here. Which one's better though? Other Merfolk creature. Don't know, don't care. So Force, and we lose, otherwise I think we're good. Yeah, it has a Force. Or a Deprive could also be a thing. No, Force. Great. Yeah, so really has to say our opponent was that we have a red source, then it would have already been. Yeah, so our opponent was pretty lucky here with everything. Anyhow, after round number 4, So this might either be, oh, it's only the Titan. Sakura Tribe Scout. Good thing is that we can't kill it once it comes down. Here also Funeral Charm, actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna still go with the Drone and Loch over anything else here, just because it will take some time for our opponent to build up their graveyard. And by him going with Once Upon a Time on Sakura Tribe Scout, I assume that he does not have Mazuza here. We know he has one more land at least, so I'm fine with the Ancient Stirrings here. Just gonna go play the Brazen Bara as soon as we can. So we might be going for a Titan here. Nope. We could have, of course, also bounced something end of turn, but I think just getting a little bit of extra time with our cryptic command down the road is more important. All right. Okay, Summon Aspect might mean that he does not have another Titan here. But even if he does, like, we have a pretty decent hand right now. Yeah, I was just thinking about Field of the Dead, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't trigger yet, and probably is slow here. So we're putting him down to 11. And this is exactly what I hoped for. Except for if he does have another Titan in hand or a third Summoners Pact. Because then we should have lethal here. This is 5. Yeah, I think it's actually better if we just go with K command, killing him, and all right. So yeah, for this matchup especially, Funeral Charm is pretty good. Can do a lot here. Other than that, not sure. Surgical is not too great. Fulminated Mage is probably a must-have, but I don't want to cut the Brazen Boar, so we have to. We're on the draw. I think we're just gonna stay as is. And then on the play, we're gonna bring in the Fulminated Mages. Definitely a mulligan. Not a great hand, but also not a super bad one. All depends on whether or not he's playing a Tribe Scout. Yep. Now, the hand becomes significantly better. Pithing Needle. Sure. Everything but Polluted Delta, please. Alright, Fulminated Mage, yeah. We didn't want that anyway. So that's the type of salvation that I'm looking for here. That's Azusa, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's preventing us from interacting here in the middle of everything. Next turn he's gonna have, this is 4, so it's 6, so we need to find a blue source. Otherwise we are pretty dead here. Nope. Come on. Oh my goodness. Cool. And you know, it's the same thing as with the Mofo game that we lost, where we just drew lands, and here we're just not drawing any lands. And although that can happen sometimes, you know, it's like just another factor on Moto. And then we draw another swamp. Alright. Thank you very much. Alright, Moto, come on. Just a couple more rounds here. So I want to have the Brazen Bara. Probably can omit the Opt or the Funeral Charm. Turning on Drowning Loch will be the difficult part, so we might also just go... Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the controversial thing and get rid of Drowning Loch here to draw it down the line. Alright. So I think I'm gonna bounce the amulet here. For him to not be able to go Azusa this turn. Vizuva. Alright. So new plan here. Unreal. Had it all. So now I think we need to be aggressive and make him discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can let him discard 3 cards, and then he needs to draw a land card in order to play the Titan. Well, that lasted not very long. And you can also activate it. Yeah. All right. Cool. Off to the last round, and I'm pretty fed up. For once, we won the die roll here. It's interesting that you only encounter control decks in the lower brackets. This might be Living End. I can't think of many other decks that are playing Growth, except for maybe some of the Drowsy Tron decks. Alright. Possibly Eldrazi. Meta Reshaper? Yeah. I thought so. This actually has to be a black source to enable our Torpid, and I think that is fine. I'm gonna go and actually also put another land in there, just because sometimes they're playing Sim Spirit Guides as well. And here again, Shriekmaw very good, Kalita is very good. Grimlava Mansa depends on whether or not they are also employing Noble Hyrax. So hopefully they do not have Excellent Spirit Guide in hand, but otherwise they would have probably played it before. Just to ramp. seems to be thinking though. That might be something. Why not? Draws the obligator. Until end of turn, right? Yeah, I think that's alright. Pay the additional 2 and have our Snapcaster. That is fine by me. Yeah. Put on top. Kill the Eldrazi Obligator. Yeah, so Funeral Charm, as you can see here, just has very many good applications. Like against Amulet Titan, although he had a card too many in hand, like we discarded 3 cards, 3 of them being lands, which we would have not been able to with a targeted discard spell. Inquisition wouldn't have helped us anyway, but with the Authorities, of course, we could have gotten rid of that Titan. So, yeah. Just passing here. I think I'm just going to play the Snapcaster to apply more pressure. Could have also just made him discard, but I'm not sure what he might have in hand. And this way it's just a 2-turn clock with us having a lot of stuff. At the ready. Alright, so Kalitas, Shriekmaw, Fulminator Mage, putting out the Archmage's Charms. Gonna leave in the counter scrolls due to him showing us that he has Karn. And yeah, I think Funeral Charm, like with Eldrazi Obligator, even if he isn't playing, I'm not sure. 2 is probably good enough. Whoops. Did way too many cards in our deck. Oh my god. Alright. So probably gonna keep it just due to the fact that we don't really have a whole lot of cards. Like the ratio is all off now. Not a whole lot of lands. Alright, Ancient Stirrings, not a Noble Hierarch. And there's also the second spell, so that if he doesn't have an Eldrazi Temple, we might be able to actually do something with our Drown in the Loch. I'm gonna shock here to be able to just play Polluted Delta on a swamp And then we can go with Island Island down the road. Yeah, killing this doesn't feel great, but Reality Smasher feels even worse. Hopefully it does have like some sort of... And the cavern. Yeah, that's surprisingly not a problem. But it becomes a problem once our opponent is able to go next turn Eldrazi, any mana source, and then Reality Smasher. No play. That is really awkward. Alright, so I'm going to put the Grim Lava Mantis to the bottom because we know what we have to deal with. And I might be inclined to just bounce something here. Like an Eldrazi Temple. Lol. Pooh. I think we're going to counterbounce. Could also counter draw. This dude becomes very annoying once it's also entering the battlefield. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go counter and return. Stomping around over Eldrazi Temple so that at least he has to put in some work if he wants to do something. And he's playing Noble RX. Alright, so everything we anticipated was actually correct. Hopefully we get another turn here. Alright, because like if he leaves this mana open here, I would assume that he does have another of these Bone Crusher Giants in hand. So we're probably gonna take 6 here. But still, we bought ourselves enough time. Like, you shouldn't be able to get rid of our Kalitas, especially not with like only one red source. Last zone, yeah, it's annoying, but alright. And then we might be able to just turn the corner with our, like, we deal 6 a turn, and we can go Cryptic for 2 turns, and then we also have Creeping Tar Pit, so that might be just enough. Yep. taking 7 down to 8. And I assume he's doing this. Whoa. No. I thought we had enough mana for Cryptic and Tar Pit already. So he also shouldn't be able to stop our Cryptics here. That was annoying. Now we really have to be careful. He's probably gonna go and kill our Tar Pit with a Lightning Bolt. I don't know. Okay. So if we draw a removal spell, then we're good. Oh my goodness. So we shouldn't die this turn, but what is going on here is pretty annoying. And our opponent's been extremely lucky here with that sequence. Nine down to 8. Still Lightning Bolt, Snapcaster Mage. Probably all lethal. Counter Scroll doesn't do it though. Unless I cannot believe this. Ah, man. Didn't draw a single. Yeah, you should have not done that. Now you killed yourself. Pretty sure. Just attack and you're good. That was a mistake. All right. So overall, I think a pretty good and pretty fun league. Hope you enjoyed it. We had a very confident showing here against Blue Red Control. Then I already can't remember what this was, but it was pretty close. Oh yeah, against Affinity. Then we had a match against Merfolk, which we should have won time and time again. That was pretty unfortunate. Then Amulet Titan, alright. I mean, yeah, most of the time we get it, especially with Nimble Obstructionist. Without Nimble, we're a little bit more up in the air. But still, yeah, we couldn't do anything else. And then a good showing against Eldrazi. Overall, I really enjoyed playing with Funeral Charm. It does its job very well. Of course, you're a little bit weaker, like in terms of power level of the spells your opponent is playing and the spells you're actually discarding. But on the other hand, you have additional removal, like you're at instant speed. I do like it. I will change Brazen Borrow for Nimbles again. Generally, just having a higher. Okay, oh yeah, Nimble. Higher win percentage once I'm playing Nimble over Brazen Borrow. But other than that, pretty good. Yeah, for the sideboard, Shriekmaw. I think there was only one time when we could actually play the Shriekmaw, and that one, I believe, was the last game where we actually didn't manage to win against Merfolk. Darkslick Shores definitely has to go again. Need more value in that spot. If you want, you can always put a Mystic Sanctuary in there. I don't really like it. I think I'm going to go back to a Blast Zone, especially because we had problems against Affinity and against Merfolk there. So, and we're now playing Nimble again, so I want to have at least one Blast Zone somewhere in the deck in case we're drawing so many lands as we did last time. Yeah, that's it for today. As I said, we're probably going to play a League of Pioneer either today or tomorrow, and I hope you're looking forward to that. I wish you a very good weekend and see you guys around.